Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to do a big overarching review of list building. And that's because I think that it's so important. So I have a lot of people on my list who are really passionate about the knowledge they have. They want to get it out to the world. And it's a little hard for them to kind of get into some of the nuts and bolts of having an online business because they're more interested in the knowledge and in creating that content, creating a product or creating a course. And I understand that. I actually feel the same way. It took me a while to settle into that part of the business that involved creating an audience and also promoting the products that I had. So those were the two things that were hard for me, and I think they're hard for a lot of people who are just passionate about something that they know and they want to get it out to the world. So, and then it's natural. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't have an audience, you're not going to sell what you have, or even give it away for free, to tell you the truth. And so it's really important to build your audience. Now, there are basically two ways of building your audience. And one is doing it on your own and getting people on your own list, and the other one is through partners. Now, when you work with partners, those people end up on your list too. But for some specific promotion that you're doing, um, those people might come from a referral, a recommendation from a partner, and come straight to some type of event that you're doing or whatever it is, or something for free, whether it's free or paid. They do end up on your list, but at that time, you're getting those people for that product or course or whatever. They're coming from a partner. Uh, there are just so many ways to build your list, and I'm going to go through a whole bunch of them. So, the first thing you need to know is that in order to build your list, you need to start with something for free most of the time. That's not to say that you can't just sell things. But if you, let's say, put a post on Facebook or an ad on Facebook or on LinkedIn or wherever, and for selling something, it's really hard to get people to buy. And so why is that? Well, just think about yourself. You know, how often do you just buy something from an ad on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever? And that's because if you don't know the person, you don't know whether to trust them. You just have no basis for making a decision. And I did once actually buy something, and it was pretty good it was an ad on Facebook, but it was like a post. And so there was a lot of explanation there. It was like going to a sales page, and it was good copy. And so I bought it, and it was also inexpensive. It was like $27 or $37. I would never do that for something more expensive without first getting a feel for who that person is. And so you do that by offering something for free. Now, that something for free could be a simple PDF, it could be a checklist or an ebook, but it can also be an event. So it can be something like a master class, which is what they call webinars these days. And so that's another way of getting people to know who you are. And I like to emphasize, especially for people who are coaches and consultants who offer services, that it's really hard to get people to buy your services without them first getting something from you. And it could be a white paper or a short ebook or something like that, so that they kind of get some sense that you have knowledge that they want. You know, people just um, don't just pick up and buy your services right away. So that's the point. You really need to start, for the most part, with something that's free. And the way you get them on your list is, number one, you have to have, uh, there are some other options, but in general, you'll have an account with something called an email service provider. Examples are Aweber, MailerLite. I use BirdSend and MailerLite, Active Campaign. There are a couple that I don't recommend using. MailChimp and Constant Contact, I don't recommend using. I've had clients who've used both of them, and they're very limited in their options, and so I just don't think they're a good idea. Right now, when people ask what they should start with, I say MailerLite. It's free for the first 1,000, at least was the last time I checked, and it's really modern, has good features, works well. They have good support, so I think that's a good option. So you start with that. And then you have, through that email service provider, that will give you the code to put on your website. And again, it doesn't have to be your website, but they'll give you the code to create an opt-in form, which is the form where people put in their name and email address, and that when they fill it out, they end up on your list. And that list is held in that email service provider. So you'll have a place where all your contacts are, a place where you create these opt-in forms, and then a third place where you send out what we call broadcast emails, just when you decide to send out an email. And then finally, a place to create what's called autoresponders, sometimes called sequences. Unfortunately, different email service providers use different terms for the same thing, so it's sometimes a little confusing. But autoresponders are the emails that go out automatically, hence the word autoresponder, after somebody signs up for something. And it could be something for free, or if they buy something. And so that's the basic process, that you create something that people will get for free. Again, it could be an event, and then there's an opt-in form on a page, usually on your website, but it could be hosted in a different place. And then people fill it out and they end up on your list. And then they automatically get these other emails, these autoresponders that give them the information that they asked for. So that's basically that process of building your list. Now, how do you get people to that page? I mean, the people don't just show up on that page automatically. You actually have to bring them there, attract them there. And so you do that by promoting that free offer. And that's why it's really good to have something permanent, not only an event, something that you can be on an ongoing basis, something that you can be promoting all the time. And you need a systematic way to be promoting that. So I have, for example, a spreadsheet that my assistant uses of different Facebook and LinkedIn groups, even a Reddit subreddit, where she promotes my free offer every single day. Different free offers I have, but every single day something gets promoted. And that brings me in a few people a day automatically, like that. And there are other places that you can do it as well. So you can, for example, you can speak, and you can, at the end of your talk, you can give the link to that opt-in page. You can do guest blog posts. There's something called, and this is partnering, it's called a freebie swap. And you find somebody else who has the same kind of target market on their list as you do, and the two of you agree to promote each other's free offers. And that can be very powerful. So, you, depending on how big the list that person has, you don't know what it'll be like, but you'll get some people that way. So there are just all these different ways for you to promote. I recommend blogging as well, and putting the link at the bottom there. It should be on the side and so on like that. It should be on your home page too. So all of those ways you promote. One of the things people have trouble with is doing this regularly, like every single day. There should be some way that you're promoting your free offer. So the next thing is, in terms of growing your audience, the problem is that if you ignore those subscribers, they will unsubscribe, or maybe they change their emails and the emails bounce or whatever. Your list goes down by itself slowly if you don't grow it. And so you need to maintain a relationship with them. You need to be sending them emails regularly with tips, and maybe a link to a blog post, or maybe links to other people's articles and so on like that, just some information that's related to what they signed up for. You need to keep in touch with them. And this is how you, especially by being consistent doing this is how you develop a sense of a feeling of trust, and that you know what you're talking about, and that primes people to be willing to buy from you. So that's the second kind of process, is you build up the audience, and then you maintain a relationship with them to build up that trust. And you should be continually working on maintaining contact and developing contacts of people who can be partners with you, and having them promote you. And of course, you promote them as well. And in your emails, you will send out links to other people's free offers and other people's events and whatever, because you can't offer them everything. And so it's like, think of it as a service to them, of offering them things that you're not offering. So that's how you grow your list. You do it by yourself, you do it with partners, and then you maintain that relationship. And then when you're ready to sell something, then people are ready to buy. So don't only be selling. You should be selling something all the time, but you should also be giving people information that's free. For example, in my email, I have the hot daily tip or the daily hot tip. So every day in every email, there is something for free, some tip for free that people can get value from. And when I do sell, I always do it in the context of educating people so that they know why this is important. If I'm selling something about list building, for example, I explain why list building is important. It helps to sell it, but it also helps to educate people. And that way people tell me that they find my newsletters really informative and valuable. And the first time I heard this, I was kind of shocked. I thought, like, it seems like I'm just selling a lot of stuff. But because I do it in this educational way, people appreciate it. You do, of course, want people that will buy, not just take things for free. And that's just a matter of attracting the right audience. So, just to summarize, you should have something for free and something evergreen that's like a PDF or a video. Be promoting it all the time, have some system so it's always being promoted. You should work with partners. I do also recommend events master classes and so on like that. Some people like those. And then just keep building your audience so that it's there for you when you have your product and courses ready and you want to sell them. Just one more thing I want to talk about, and that is big events. So examples are web summits and giveaways. I'm especially partial to giveaways. I think they're pretty simple compared to doing a web summit, and you can grow your list massively. I've done it twice. Once it was a speaker's giveaway, once it was an author's giveaway. And both times, each time, I got about 1,000 people added to my list, really in the space of a couple of weeks. Although, of course, it took time to get the contributors there, and everybody promotes it together. But these are big partnership events, and you can really get a lot of results in a short period of time that way. So don't be afraid of that as well, because your list building is going to be small little things plus a few big events. And that's how you'll actually grow your list. I went back recently to a blog post of mine where I showed that my list on Change the World Marketing was 85 people, and I was promising to show people how I grew my list. And then I realized that it wasn't growing, and I just had to go through this whole thing of getting coaches and really figuring out the whole process of building a list in that internet marketing niche, because I'd been successful before in a more corporate niche where people really needed the software I was writing about, PowerPoint and AutoCAD. But I didn't, in internet marketing, it was totally different. And so that's how I learned all of these different techniques of having different free offers and partnering with people and doing giveaways and events. And my list now is around 10,000 people for Change the World Marketing and around 13,000 people for EllenFinkelstein.com. And so it just makes it a whole lot easier. Your business, when you have a larger list, is on a firm foundation. So that's what I want for you for 2022. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.